We are Gathering in the Geeks. We're a podcast and YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one where I'm not really sure. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso and my coach Beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how you doing?
Happy as peaches. How are you doing?
Peaches.
Happy as peaches, yeah.
Happy as peaches. I can be happy as a peach.
I don't even know what it means really, but I like it.
Is that like... It's because like peaches are like the most fun and happy fruit?
Oh, I don't know. It's a line from Long Legs.
Yeah, of course it is. You sicko.
Yeah. One day you will watch Long Legs.
I probably will as soon as I
think
can.
You will. Curiosity, I think, is going to get the best of you. You're going to watch Long Legs, and you're either going to text me, "This was terrible. Why did I watch it?" or "I absolutely loved it."
I like that idea about a happy fruit, though. Maybe I could ask Cookie about that because she's doing her fruit quest right now. Like, what do you think the happiest fruit is? Like peaches? It does seem like a happy fruit, but
I think peaches is often used like, "Oh, I'm doing. How are you?" Peaches. Peaches seems to be like, I guess so. It is like a happy thing. You don't ever hear anybody say, "Oh, I'm a watermelon."
Yeah. I'm a grapefruit.
Damn it, I'm a cantaloupe. You just don't hear
it. you just don't hear it.
You just don't. Nobody says happy as apples.
Yeah, that's right. You're always happy. Yeah, happy as a peach.
There's also that song called Peaches. Peaches for me, peaches for you.
Yeah. President of the United States of America. Yeah.
Not the real president, though. Although that would be fun.
Yeah.
I would advocate for them to make a cover of that. Any president, except, well, we won't get into it. But any president would be fun.
I was going to say, let's not.
Yeah, let's not. But yeah, let's get a Peaches cover.
Oh, Peaches has been everywhere since the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
That too.
Oh my God, yeah, my son listened to that all the time. So, luckily, the song's only like a minute and 20 seconds long. So,
there's a longer one.
Yeah, that's trouble.
Well, I'm sure he's happy as peaches anyway.
Yes. Gathering of the Geeks. It's available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is search for Gathering of the Geeks, and you will find us right there talking about what is the happiest fruit. Oh, there's Cookie. Cookie, what's the happiest fruit? We were talking about peaches. What do you think? What do you think the happiest fruit is? Zeddy, what are you, 12? Come on.
You didn't wish Zeddy a happy birthday?
He knows I love him. I don't need to tell him a happy birthday.
That's fair.
And plus I didn't want to be the guy, be like, oh, somebody else said happy birthday. I completely didn't know when his birthday was. And now I have to pretend that I knew only because somebody else wished it. It felt fake. I didn't want to feel fake. If I remembered or knew that it was his birthday, I would have said that, but didn't want to fake it.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that.
I'm not going to take credit for remembering his birthday. I can't be like, hey, Chris reminded me by tweeting you earlier that it was your birthday. So happy birthday, sir. Big happy birthday.
I suppose. Sure.
I'd rather not be told happy birthday. Yeah, so you're welcome.
Your birthday is hard to forget, though.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, that's true. So close.
Yeah, yours is really difficult to forget.
Yeah.
I always remember Zeddy's too because he shares a birthday with two other important people to me. So.
See that's the key. That's why my son's birthday is my mother-in-law's birthday, so I'm never going to forget that. And
it's easy to
my wife's wedding, my wife and I's wedding day is her birthday, so I'm good on both sides. I'm never going to forget her birthday, and I'm never going to forget our wedding anniversary. So it's best of both worlds.
I'm terrible with birthdays normally.
Oh, I'm horrible with it. I can't remember people's name. How do you expect me to remember their birthday?
I have realized I can remember names recently. Dealing with hosting these events and stuff, I have to interact with a ton of people. And so I'm able to remember a lot of names now that I didn't think I could. So that's fun. New skills unlocked.
Yeah, that's right. So unlocking a part of your brain you didn't know existed.
It's like the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, which is a great movie.
Yeah, that's right.
I happen to love that movie.
That's fun.
Yeah, I feel like I have the pill or whatever that he takes. The Limitless pill.
Right on. What's up, Zeddy? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Cookie? What's up, Phil? Eric, how are you guys doing on this fine Sunday evening? Chris, what'd you get up to this past week?
Basically, look why I started this little side tangent for podcasting.
Hey, we embrace and endorse any side.
I got quite a few things actually. On the comic side of stuff, I actually read again. I'm getting back in the habit of reading comics.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, who am I? I actually read a book I forgot to talk about last week, so I want to mention it quickly. They reread Moon Knight again, with Ed McKay writing it still, which is a little odd to me. Like, why stop the book, restart the book with a character nobody cares about, and then start the book again with the character everybody cares about? It is an odd sequence of events. I feel like when they killed Mark, it doesn't matter now.
Right.
It undid that kind of cool ending, but at the same time, I do like the new issue. It's called Fist of Khonshu. The first issue is all from Khonshu's perspective, so it's like a really long monologue of him kind of just detailing the Midnight Mission and Hunter's Moon and Mark, and I like that a lot. It's cool, and of course, it's from Jed. That works for me. So yeah, I'm excited that we have status quo Moon Knight back. I do need to go back and read how Mark was resurrected though, because I am completely lost, and the book did not have a recap of that.
So this is I'm looking just on the Marvel here. It's Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu number 0. It's a 0 issue.
Yeah, so I assume number 1 will Fist of Khonshu number 1 will be more in line with what we know, whereas 0 was the introductory, like, okay, we are back. And Khonshu is free again. He's not in Asgard. He is free to mess stuff up. Because we're a family show tonight. We're messing stuff up.
Just looking at the synopsis of the book, it's like his return was in Bloodhunt.
The return he came back in Bloodhunt. Khonshu brought him back.
Yeah, that's a different kind of thing too. It's like something in a main story book happening in an event book.
But they're also pushing the event book to be a big deal, which I'm going to get to in a minute.
Okay.
We have Ian's here. I already waved to him, but hey.
Hi, Ian.
Ruthie also caught us live, which is rare because of the time difference. So happy to have you. Aaron says Fist of Khonshu was good. Great introduction. Yeah, it's cool if you've never read Moon Knight. I think it's a good refresher course. I do think they should have mentioned how Mark was resurrected though, because it's
right.
Odd. Cookie asks, anyone get the Samna hardcover? It's gorgeous. Did you get yours?
Just the single issues for Distillery stuff so far for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm just on a quest for collecting all the singles, so I'm not sure if I'll get the hardcovers.
Are we still doing coffee reviews? No, we haven't done the coffee reviews in a while because I kind of stopped going. I found one I liked, and I just stopped after that. It's a donut flavored coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and I just think it's the greatest thing in the world. But I haven't had it in a while because I've been busy, and I've also just decided to drink Red Bulls every day.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm probably gonna have a heart issue pretty soon here.
Yeah, palpitations.
It's probably already starting. Zay says you don't face your fears, you ride them. Is that like
he's just a walking? He's just a walking billboard.
I mean, it works though. Yeah. Regarding the Samna, Cookie had a double dip, but it was worth it. Aaron said he's just going to quote Twisters the entire hour. I'm here for it. You know what? If he could do that, I can quote Longlegs. I'm happy as peaches for him to do it. But anyway, so yeah, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu is cool. So with Bloodhunt, I've been avoiding the event just because I don't really like I've mentioned before, I don't like vampires interacting with characters I love. It's just weird to me. They don't always mesh well. But I'd seen some art for this particular book, and one of our friends mentioned it, Norton Sinclair, that he liked it. It's the Bloodhunt Laura Kinney Wolverine issue. And it's really cool. It's just Wolverine destroying vampires. And Laura has, the 2 claws in her hand and the 1 in each foot. So like she's kicking her claws into their skulls and it's bloody. It's got some really cool action. And then Gabby joins the fun too. which I don't know a lot about Gabby, but
Who's that?
it's Wolverine's other daughter.
Okay.
He has a full family now. The loner thing is kind of like when you say Batman's a loner, but he has like 27 allies.
The Bat family is quite large.
And they're raging. They're ranging in ages now.
Mm-hmm.
You have, 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 20. He's got a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolverine's kind of the same way. He's got quite a large family now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun book. It's a very quick read. There's really not much story content there. Not a lot of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly action, but it's fun.
Nice.
There's something with vampires that Chris doesn't like. Shocking. I mean, one day we'll go down the rabbit hole, but there's a lot of stuff I don't like.
That would be a fun thing to do, and I think we talked about this, but like Nicolas Cage too. It'd be interesting to, like, I know you and I don't like talking about things we don't not like, but going through things what is something that we love but we don't like in that thing. It's kind of that'd be a cool experiment.
The movie Children of the Night is one example. That is one of the most, not only one of the most horrible vampire movies I've ever seen, but just one of the most horrible movies in general. If you want to test your endurance, track it down and watch it. And I'm not religious, but God help you.
Mm-hmm.
Ian says movie of the week: Young Woman and the Sea. Wolverine, the Family Man. Who would have thought? Not me. So yeah, that is the only Blood Hunt book I've read. Probably not going to read more unless there's another issue of Wolverine Blood Hunt. I think there's also a Logan Blood Hunt issue, but I don't care. I wanted to read Laura's, so that was cool. And then I decided. Well, you recommended that I actually finish a book I started months ago, so I finished Batman: City of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And what a delight that was. We're going to use that word. It was a delight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because each week we use a different word. We learn a new word. This one is delight.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So it's a delight. I love the art so much. Christian Ward is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love the designs, and I love the concept of this kind of almost like the upside down version of Gotham.
Yeah, it's like Stranger Things. Yeah,
it's Stranger Things. Yeah, it's really cool though, and I would love to see more of that. Like if we could have more books set in that world, that'd be cool. And I like the designs, like the Two-Face design where he's instead of being vertical, it's horizontal. That was different. And actually, when you think about it, were he splashed with acid realistically, that's more likely what it would have been.
Right.
It would have been something more like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, like realism in the most unrealistic version. But I thought that was a great story. I know you're really high on it too.
I love that story. It's one of my favorite Batman stories of the last couple of years. And one of the things I was hoping for, like, and you mentioned it to me when we were talking about it, was like a sequel. But like this, I would have liked to seen this story in a continuity, like an ongoing series in this world, in the Upside Down, with I forget what they called the Batman, what they called
the Batman Below.
The Batman Below, and like the whole Robin aspect to it. Like I would have liked to seen this just go on and on and on for, I would have loved to seen this be a 12 issue like Max series, or even just an ongoing thing. And I hope Christian Ward gets to do a sequel for it, because it's just one of my faves.
I want more. And the way it ends is like, please give me the sequel. I want to see what he does with that character.
Yep.
Just a glimpse we get seems like a good time. I want it.
Seems like a good time.
It sure does. I think I need that in my life. I would like to inject that into the veins. We'll see. I might buy the hardcover for this because I read it digital, of course, as I do most things. And I think Christian Ward's art deserves to be seen in print.
100%. And just the oversized issues are so good.
And I could have sworn I bought one of the issues, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, you bought the first one. That's what I remember.
I did? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain you did.
Well, it's in the pile somewhere.
I think you've got that, like you bought the first issue of Spectrograph as well from Christian Ward and James Tynion. Yeah, so you're on the single issue of Christian Ward.
I don't even know now that book. I really don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
And I don't see City of Madness, or I don't know. Well, I'll look for it later. And I'll probably just find something else and do that.
Yep.
Grabs is with us also tonight. How's
Hey,
it
Grabs.
going? Oh, Aaron's watching The Bear for the first time. I really don't understand fine dining, massive plates, all food. Fine dining. I like
Have you
fine
ever been to
dining.
one of those restaurants before, where like it's very minimalistic?
I don't think so.
No, me neither.
I don't think I have. I don't know. I'll have to think about that later.
Hmm.
But those were my reads: City of Madness and Blood Hunt. Good times.
Awesome. Those
What'd
are
you read?
some good reads. I got two this week. I've got Wonder Woman 11, which is an absolute power tie-in. Which in general, I don't read events, but I especially don't read the tie-ins for events.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to read it because there was Wonder Woman, and I've been reading and fully on board for um, Tom King's Wonder Woman. So it was cool. Again, I don't really like tie-ins, so just the general idea of the story, like it has nothing to do with what happened in the previous 10 issues, but it's kind of cool. Like there's Detective Chimp in this one, and Shazam, and not Miss Marvel, Mary Marvel. What's her name?
Mary Marvel. I kept
Mary.
she ended up in the Justice League Infinite Crisis movie. I kept thinking Miss Marvel, Mary Marvel,
Yeah,
Miss Marvel.
I couldn't keep
It's
up.
Mary Marvel.
Yeah. So that was all good fun. This issue was drawn by Tony S. Daniel, kind of a DC classic
Haven't
artist. So
seen
that
him in
was
a
kind of cool.
while.
Yeah. So yeah, just continuing on. I'll be reading every issue of Tom King Wonder Woman, even if it's in the Absolute Power tie-ins. But a big book for me this week was Dark Knights of Steel, Alt Winter or All
Mm-hmm.
Winter, All
Winter.
Winter #1. It's like the sequel to Dark Knights of Steel. Takes place, I think, 6 months after the end of the series, and it's now more Norse mythology. Like Vikings and that kind of thing. First issue, aside from one character on the very last page, is all in black and white, which is kind of interesting. Um, and it deals with Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, as kind of the main character. He's if you've seen the cover with the dude with the big beard and the kind of the Viking helmet on. That's
Mm-hmm.
Deathstroke. So that was kind of cool to see him. It's got Emma Frost in it, or this version of Emma Frost. And the backup story is more or less the prequel to Dark Knights of Steel. What's interesting about Alt Winter is that it's not written by Tom Taylor, which is what
Oh,
I thought was going to be a thing. I figured he'd just continuing on. He's writing the backup story, but he's not writing the mainline story. The writer of the mainline story is someone I have no idea who it is, named Jay Kristoff. Not that
my
I'm aware
favorite.
of. So I don't know if I've read anything by them, but so one of the things that surprised me was the black and white art all the way through, except for one character on the very last page, and it's very prominent and interesting why that character has full color. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next issue, how they carry that forward. But one of the cool things about it is like when I started playing the God of War for PS5, how they leaned heavily into the Norse mythology from that one, based off the Greek mythology that they did in all the previous games. So the switch for the sequel in different, god mythology was quite interesting. Dark Knights of Steel is one of my favorite books in the last couple of years from DC. So it's going to be interesting to see how the story goes along. So that was pretty much it for my reads. Pretty simple
Do
this
you
week.
do you need to read Dark Knights of Steel to understand All Winter?
No, it mentions one small thing about Dark Knights of Steel, and it's got the little asterisk, and it says see Dark Knights of Steel #1
I kind
or
of love
whatever,
that, and
but
I
you
kind of
don't need
hate it
to.
at the same
Yeah,
time.
I read it. I think I read a DC book a couple months ago where it was like on every other page. Like,
Mm-hmm.
go back and read this and go back. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going back.
We just have a recap.
Yeah.
Like Marvel does it with most books, except Fist of Khonshu for whatever reason. But
Hmm.
most books, it
Yeah.
has a recap to explain how we got here.
Yeah.
Like, can we just do that instead of,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, track down this book you probably don't want to read, or you didn't read because you didn't want to read. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to read it, I probably would have. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so I don't think you need to read. You just need to have it in the understanding that it's a retelling of DC characters in different worlds. As in Dark Knights of Steel, it's like lords and and Game of Thrones types of things. Castles and all that bullshit. And then in all winter, it's like the Vikings, or Slade. Deathstroke is a Viking.
I don't know if that's my cup of tea, but I might look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Ian says Dark Knights of Steel is so good. I have the hardcovers, great rereads. I actually bought the first issue of this. I remember that, but I never read it. I mean, the concept is something I would be drawn to, and I was.
Yeah.
Plus Tom Taylor, but I just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
One day.
Mm-hmm. One fine day.
That's right. One fine day. Just like the song says, and the movie with George Clooney and Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right.
It's a rom-com.
Of course it is. One book that came out this past week that I didn't read, kind of on purpose, was Fish Flies #7, which is the finale to Fish Flies. So I'm planning on getting that and doing one long read, and then I don't know, it would be not by next week, but maybe the weekend after, being able to talk about Fish Flies on the whole. So I'm looking forward to that.
Ian asked if I read the book you mentioned last week, and I wanted to read it, and then I just didn't get around to it. But I will. I will read that because I wanted to. Sounds cool.
Falling in Love on a Path to Hell.
Yeah, the title alone is really what I need here. It works for me. Who doesn't want to read about paths to hell?
Yeah, I think that's everyone's go-to. Oh yeah, looking at the cover, it looks pretty wild. Cowboys and samurai.
Yeah, it looks neat. I did look it up. I just didn't read it yet.
When was that? Oh, that was June. Holy cow. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
First issue came out. Yeah, it's already been 2 issues, so if you get to the third one comes out on August 14th, so you got some time still if you do want to catch up.
Yeah, I can catch up with that. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at what came out, I think, last week, and I remember I read the first issue of Briar. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to keep reading this. It's on the 7th issue now.
I know.
I was like, oh.
I don't know how that happens sometimes.
So much comes out, and then, you just don't have the time.
Well, and we complain. You and I complain. We're talking about other release schedules where there's one book every 6 months, and then there seems like there's book every 2 weeks, and you're like, oh, slow down.
Well, like Batman Echoes has had 3 issues in a year, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that. I think the last issue just came out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't even care, but it's finally there, I guess.
Yeah.
What'd you watch?
So ever since Interview with the Vampire TV show ended, I've been kind of racking my brain about getting into some more. Last week I talked about watching Interview with the Vampire, the movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, and then I decided that I wanted to watch Queen of the Damned.
Oh, I like this.
And I did, and I really did. And the biggest takeaway for me, and I texted this to you, is the movie felt like it was 6 hours long. It just felt like it went completely nowhere and took its time doing it. It's just
going nowhere.
It took its time going nowhere, and it was pretty painful to watch the movie. And the little that I know about this, I don't know, this sector of the Vampire Chronicles, like the changes that they made were confusing to me. The idea of it felt like they blended Vampire Lestat and Queen of the Damned together. Yes. Like I don't know why. Maybe why they did that. Like why? Like and like I think I got 3/4 through the movie. I'm like, why do I give a shit about the this Queen of the Damned? Like I don't care about she hasn't done anything, and she still really fucking didn't do anything. Anyway, so and like it's funny watching the 94 version of Interview with the Vampire and how visual wise they had restrictions on how you do things. Like they could only do so much. There was no CGI wasn't what it was. So like the small fight scenes that they have, or like Brad Pitt running through a church literally that's on fire, like it looked great. And then watching this movie, everything looks horrible. Like the visuals of the vampires like moving, where it's like, I don't know, they're vibrating or there's some kind of trail behind them anytime they move. Yeah, it's just like it looks so bad. And like even just, what's his name? Stuart Townsend. Is that who his name is?
Old
He looks
Stewie.
terrible in every single shot. Like visually, like and like I like to talk about, okay, well, the movie looks good, like the craft of the movie is good, but the storyline just wasn't that great. Everything about the Queen of the Dam is just not the best. Like visually, it looks bad. The acting is bad. The writing is bad. The story that they're trying to tell just doesn't work.
But the soundtrack.
But exactly right, and that's my next point. But the soundtrack, Jonathan Davis from Korn, the soundtrack is awesome.
It's great, yeah. And even the other songs.
The beginning song is so good. The ending song is so good. Like with that at
the Kidney Thief
concert.
song.
Yeah, like it's just they got one thing right. It's the soundtrack. It's so good. I think it's very good. I think most of the songs are quite good.
I love Cookie's response here. I'm so sorry, Emmett. It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Grab says CGI was limited. Brad Pitt refused to really kill people. They had limits back then. All depends how you look at it.
Yeah, so it's just so funny what happened from 1994 to when the movie came out in 2000 2001, I think, Queen of the Dam or something like that.
Two, I forgot.
Like it just so weird. Like the craft of the movie changed, and it got for the worse. Like it's just not a good movie, and you can see that nothing had happened since then. Queen of the Dam killed the franchise. But like again, all the way to not having seen those two, and then watching Interview with the Vampire, the TV show. The TV show is so good. Like that, like watching those two movies, and I like Interview with the Vampire, the movie, but the TV show and watching Queen of the Dam, like it makes me respect the TV show so much more. The show is it's so good on all levels. It looks great. Watch. Yeah, the craft of the show is incredible. The story is so good. It's crazy how good the show is compared to what had come before. Even though I do like Interview with the Vampire, the movie. So, yeah, Queen of the Damned, Chris. I don't know. Did you watch it this week, or did you?
I'm familiar enough with it.
Yeah.
But I did have one question. Did you spot Armand?
Okay, so I think I'm going to take a guess here. They're walking. I think they're going into a nightclub, and there's two people sitting at a table, and one's talking to another one, and he's like bald.
But I absolutely love that you could not spot him in this movie.
Who was it?
He has one line, if I remember correctly. He's small, and he's kind of like a ginger blonde. His shirt. All I remember, he has he looks like he just walked out of a crypt.
That makes sense.
And he's shorter. He has one line, but he drank the blood of Akasha. It's toward the end.
If it's towards the end, I'm sorry. I had tuned out already.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I was kind of curious if you would catch him. So that was kind of the question I've been waiting.
Not that I recall.
Everything else is terrible. I mean, there's really nothing to.
No.
It's like poking a dead snake or something, waiting for it to move. It just doesn't.
Yep.
Like that. Yeah, I think that's a meme or something. People poking a snake. I don't know. Either way, movie sucks.
Yeah, I feel badly. I did just mention a couple minutes ago that we usually don't talk about things we don't like, but
that's okay.
I tell you, like that's a to be forgotten about and never thought of again.
I like to try to watch it every couple of years, and then as soon as I put it on, I start to remember why I don't.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, this is why, and I'm like 30 seconds into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not long into it. Like as soon as as soon as the crypt or whatever, the top starts moving over, it's like, okay, this is horrible.
As soon as I see him on the speakers and he's got that dumb face, like, I'm out.
Yep. I'm sure we'll mention it a lot more when we talk about season 3 of Interview with the Vampire.
Can't wait, actually.
Bring it up for fun. Yeah.
I will rewatch it before that just because. For funsies.
Just because, yeah.
For funsies.
Yeah, so that was Queen of the Damned. Moving on from that, I finished Severance on Apple TV. I think the last time I talked about last week, I was only 2 or 3 episodes in. Finished it all the way. The season finale is one of the best season finales I've ever seen. What's interesting about the first, I think it's an 8-episode season. The first 7 episodes are all an hour and a bit each episode, but then the season finale is only 40 minutes. Which is usually a switch. Usually it's, they give more time for the season finale, but the season finale was 40 minutes and heart pounding every moment of it. Just kind of waiting to see what happens and waiting to see what happens and waiting to see what happens. So I love Severance. I can't wait for season 2. As soon as I finished it, I thought, and one of the reasons I started to watch season 1 was I thought there was a trailer out for season 2.
I thought
So I went back on. No, so I went back and looked, and it's just an announcement of it.
Oh, I don't. Why do they do that?
Announcement of it, and just some quick shots of the season. And I don't, from what I recall, so I think some of the stuff might have been from season 1 as well. So I can't wait for an actual trailer to see how the hell they get back to a show after season 2, which is also always an interesting idea. Well, it's it's not like that, but it's like that, where it's that kind of earth shattering. Exactly. It's an earth shattering type of ending, like if they died. How do you keep the show going after what we know already? So Severance, it's really, really good.
So they do steal the Allspark at the end.
That's right. That's how they did it.
Again, it's on my list. I want to watch it. I love Adam Scott. I really, I do. I think he's great in everything.
I'm happy to see him do things that aren't comedies. Him not do comedies. So
Apple seems to have a good track record. I know Presumed Innocent is supposed to be really good too, and they also have was that series with Rebecca Ferguson?
Is that Silo?
Yeah, Silo was really popular as well. I loved Blackbird with Taron Egerton.
Yeah, we both did. Very good.
Yeah, that was a good time. Very creepy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't think I need to rewatch it, but it was great.
Yeah.
Apple has a good track record.
It's funny now. What's his name? Hauser. What's his name? Something Walter Hauser.
Walter Hauser.
Yeah, it's funny. I started watching Cobra Kai season.
He's in that
5. Yeah, season 5 or 6, and I forgot that he was in it. And then just picturing him, and it'll be hard for me to see him not as the character from Blackbird now, in everything. Like he's almost got that. Like he's so good in that role that it's going to be hard to see him do something else. And in Cobra Kai, he's kind of a joke character. He's got a beard, and he's got like the ponytail on his beard, like it's a braid that comes straight down from his chin.
My brother does that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. When I watch Cobra Kai, I'm like, oh right, he's in this, and he's not a creep. So that's kind of fun.
He wants to play McFoley in a movie. I think that's interesting.
He's going to. He is. That's going to be quite the thing.
Chris Hemsworth is Hulk Hogan, and him is McFoley. That's fun. Ian says, I'm back to liking The Boys. I've been losing interest since I didn't like Gen V much, but the season 4 finale was great. I've seen some mixed opinions about season 4's finale, actually. Some people seem to not like it at all. I'm curious what you'll think about it.
Yeah, the penultimate episode was quite something, so I look forward to the ending. What's the other thing I wanted to talk about?
He's leaving. Have to bounce, but hope everyone has a great week and enjoys Deadpool and Wolverine. Return of the King, by the way. Yes, pay attention to the Penguin panel at San Diego Comic-Con over the weekend if you love the Batman. Does that mean that the Penguin's actually be good? Is that what that means? Just wondering. The Acolyte finale was a poop emoji. We're a family show tonight, Ian. I can't say the word. Yeah, I'm waiting to use that word once on something I'm about to talk about.
All right. Okay. So one thing that I wanted to mention, and I started watching it today, was the Who Killed WCW doc that's on. So I started watching that today. I'm 2 episodes in. It's so great. I love the creators of Advice, who also do Dark Side of the Ring, which I really love. So Who Killed WCW is incredible. And if you're a fan of late to mid 90s wrestling, and we're a fan of both WCW and WWF at the time, it's really great to see everything that happened with WCW. It's just wild. Everything that happened with them. What an interesting thing about it, though, it's produced by The Rock. Really? And he's interviewed as well. Like he had anything to fucking do. Exactly. He had anything to fucking do with WCW. Anyways, so I also watched the behind the curtain WrestleMania 40 thing that WWE put out, and he's a complete dick in that whole document as well.
We're no longer a family show. Emmet has dropped.
I'm sorry. I started watching WCW. Who Killed WCW, and they're setting up the interviews. They got Eric Bischoff, Goldberg, Bret Hart, Diamond Dallas Page, everybody that was in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And then they show The Rock, setting up his microphone and everything like that. And I'm like, why are they interviewing The Rock? And then it gets to a moment where, like WCW is winning in the ratings, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to do all these great things. And then they go to the WWE thing, and Rock's like, I felt like we needed to do something about that. I could see, I'd finished my match. He's talking about his very first match, the Rock's match in WWF, where he's Rocky Maivia and he's wearing all the tassels and everything, and he's jumping around like an idiot. It's like, I went back to my hotel room and I started watching WCW, and I said to myself, well, we need to do better. And I started to think of myself, well, what can we as a company do to change and be like them? I'm like, man, it was your first match. You were nowhere near the creative for WWF at the time. And that was the final straw for The Rock with me. Like, I can't stand this guy anymore. I couldn't stand him in the behind I do hate in the behind the curtain thing for Mania 40, and the way he talked in that. I can't stand him anymore. I can't do it. I've had it up to here with The Rock. He's such a bullshitter. I can't do it with him anymore.
So when he gets cast as Apocalypse in the X-Men films, are you going to watch it?
I'll watch it, but he'll be terrible.
Oh, most likely, yes. I wouldn't have high hopes about it.
We'll see. Anyways, watch Who Killed WCW if you're a wrestling fan. It's very good, and just ignore The Rock. That's my plan for the next 10, 20, 15 years or whatever.
I've already started doing that. Like, he's got that new Christmas movie coming out. I know it's not for me. I'm not going to check it out.
So bad. Anyways, that's my watches this week, Chris. What do you got?
I wanted to watch The Acolyte because I'm behind episodes, but something about it I just don't really care, I guess. And I don't even dislike the show. I liked what I've seen of it for the most part, but I think maybe the discourse really I just wanted to separate from it.
Yep.
But I will probably finish that because I'm curious. I saw a spoiler from the finale, and I'm very interested about said spoiler. So.
Yeah, the big thing.
Yeah, the big thing. I'm pretty interested about that because I kind of thought that was it from the beginning. And I know a lot of people are like, that can't be, or that's dumb. And maybe it is dumb. I don't know. I just want to see. So we'll check that out. I watched a couple of things. The final installment of the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths movie came out, the animated film. Yeah, I don't want to say a lot about it other than it was shit to me. I did not like it. So that was that. Something I loved was Godzilla -1.
Yay.
I finally watched this thing, and I knew, like, I think it was 5 minutes in that I had made the right decision, because Godzilla is eating and destroying people in the opening. I was like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. I don't, because I don't like, if you like the MonsterVerse movies, that's cool. They're not for me. I like seeing Godzilla be destructive purposely, instead of, oh, it's accidental. He's really our friend. That's cool if you like that version. That version is not for me. I want, bloodthirsty. I'm gonna destroy this city, Godzilla, and that's what you get with -1. But I think it was you who tried to explain this to me. I didn't understand how. I didn't understand what you were saying. That the human characters really matter, and their story gets you. And it's weird to say I was emotional at the end of a Godzilla film.
That's right. Exactly.
I was so emotional when you get that final, not the post-credit thing, but the actual final scene of the movie. It's like, this is amazing. I love this. I like how they came full circle and fixed the one thing that I was sad about. It was really great. I love the story of it, and just the way it's kind of framed around this guy who just wants to redeem himself for what he thinks he did. Like, realistically, if he would have shot Godzilla at the start, it wouldn't have done anything. It would have just ate him. It wasn't going to do anything. So I appreciated the way they handled his story. I watched it dubbed, which was an experience. I thought that maybe we've come to a certain point in dubbing these films where we might be better. We're
Mm-hmm.
not. We're
No.
not. It's still, it is what it is. I also hated the child actor, which is part of the course for me.
Oh yes.
Good standard. It's part of the course. But the movie absolutely loved it. And I thought that the effects were great, but I'm kind of surprised it won Best Visual Effects, the Oscar,
Yeah. Yeah.
because some things look very wonky.
Mm.
But Godzilla himself itself looked great. Um, the destruction was cool. I did not expect so much destruction.
Yeah. Literally entire cities and
It,
people just dead.
it's so cool. Like when
Yeah.
those reporters like falling off the building and Godzilla just keeps going. It's like,
Yep.
yes, this
Mm-hmm.
is cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, oh, apparently people do not like dubbed. I honestly still prefer subtitles over dubbing. I would never watch anything dubbed. So when it's an action film
Yeah.
that's a foreign language, I prefer dubbed, just because I don't want to get caught up trying to read when something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'll do the dubs on action stuff. But if it's like worst person in the world, subtitles are fine.
Hmm.
It just depends what kind of movie it is for me. Action, I always do dubbed because it's just easier. And sometimes it kind of adds another layer to it. Like as bad as it is, it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good time. But yeah, loved Godzilla minus one. I'm glad I finally watched it.
Yeah. Same.
Um, and I also checked out Love Lies Bleeding. I don't think you've seen this, have you?
No.
So this came out in March, and it was really high on my list. But the month of March was a blur for me. I had too much going on, and I really didn't get a lot of free time, so I never made it to the theater for it. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was only in theaters for 2 weeks. Um, it's a movie with Kristen Stewart, and I forgot the other actress's name. I'm looking it up now.
Katie M.
Katie
O'Brien.
O'Brien. Yeah,
Yeah.
Katie O'Brien. So they're the main characters. It also has Ed Harris, who is fantastic. He
Love it.
plays kind of this I don't know, just a strange old guy who
Mm-hmm.
likes guns. They leave him kind of ambiguous, which I like. It also has Dave Franco in it for a hot second. Jenna Malone is in it. It was really entertaining. Um, it's very graphic, like as far as violence goes, and a few other things.
Hmm.
It's a very interesting story, though. I've seen a lot of different reactions to it. Some people seem to love it. Some people seem to hate it. I thought it was fantastic. I think Kristen Stewart is great in it. Katie O'Brien is wonderful in it. And what's cool about her specifically is she's a bodybuilder in the movie. And so it's not a spoiler. She starts using steroids. And in
Mm-hmm.
her head, she kind of turns into the Hulk, not literally, but like she just, in her head, she thinks her muscles are expanding and she's getting taller.
Oh,
It's just really fascinating to watch
weird.
where it ends.
Hmm.
It's a very very interesting watch. But yeah,
Hmm.
I thought it was very good. Ian says I'm not a fan of Kristen Stewart, but I like this movie. I actually love Kristen Stewart. I think she's very
Hmm.
talented. Aside from Twilight, that was not her fault. It was not
A long
anyone's fault,
time ago.
and it was a long time ago. But yeah,
Hmm.
I like Kristen Stewart anyway. But I thought this was a really good watch. I would recommend it to most people. I think though you have to be prepared for the graphic nature of it,
Just the violence of it, eh?
violence and some other stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's a good time. I think dark time for sure.
It's a good dark time.
Yeah, it's not a happy movie by any means.
Yeah.
And there are some things that I was like, oh, like I was shocked that they did it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a real screamer.
Uh,
No Sharon Stone.
yeah, I feel you.
But those are my watches.
Well, the directors, they wonder did Saint Maud as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that explains why I liked it too. I also love Saint Maud.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really underrated movie. I think not a lot of people talk about it.
Was not a fan. It's obviously very different stories. Are there comparables between the two that you feel? Because I didn't like Saint Maud.
I think the
Just wondering.
visually it might look similar. It's very
Yeah.
dark and moody looking. Even the daylight
Mm.
scenes are kind of ugly.
Okay.
Also, I don't know where it takes place. I saw one review. I forgot who said it. He described as too white trash for them, and I can see that. Like Kristen Stewart has this constant greasy mullet in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they both have mullets.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, it takes place in the 80s, so everybody's got mullets.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, but I get yeah, it is kind of white trash like, but it's fun. It's not
I
like
like white
watching
trash.
Squidbillies or something.
Watching what?
You've never heard of Squidbillies?
Squidbillies?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Squidbillies is this animated thing where there's squids and they're hillbillies, hence Squidbillies.
I see that. Oh my
It's
god.
kind of
Guy's got
fun.
a hat on that says Booty Hunter.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. Sweet Mike.
Cartoon Network used to play it as part of Adult Swim.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how popular it actually was, but it exists.
I love those shows.
Yeah, they
just exist. They're just there.
I mean,
Squidbillies.
if something like Ren and Stimpy can exist, I think Squidbillies is fine.
That's true. I think, yeah, there's no limit to what it is. There's 13 seasons?
Okay, I didn't even know that.
You gotta look this up.
I think I've
132 episodes. Holy cow.
Well, I think my week is set then.
Yeah.
Squidbillies Marathon.
Yeah. Holy.
Oh, you know, something I wanted to mention. I know I said before I had no interest in Trapped, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, or Trap.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer. I have to see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
It's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea, and I've seen it twice now. And both times, like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, you win, M. Night. You win.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah, Aaron's comment kind of sparked. I think they're talking about Acolyte, more twists and turns than an M. Night film. Yeah, so I have to see that movie now. I have to see what happens and what it is.
I think that's out this week, isn't it?
Nothing matters this week except Deadpool.
I was going to say, I hope it's not out this week. No, it's not out until August. Okay, you're good.
Okay, I could check it out then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nothing else exists this week.
No. I think it's really great. I've only just mentioned it now at 9:18.
You're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But it is this week on Thursday.
And your showtime is when? Sorry, it's on
3 p.m.
What day? And what day? On the Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, 3 p.m.
The fan event. I'm very excited.
Are you staying off the internet that day?
I mean, I'm gonna be there. So I'm gonna be one of the first fans to watch it, I guess, because it'd be 3:00.
Really, that's like the first showing for.
Well, yeah, because they're not doing like fan screenings before that. Like what I was trying to get into, which I have tried. They don't have screenings for it. There's only press screenings, and they're not until Monday. Well, I guess tomorrow. I haven't seen any other screenings at all. If I can see it before that, I will, but I don't. It's not looking likely. As it goes, when it's a movie I really want to see, I never get into it early.
Yeah.
But I could have seen Fly Me to the Moon 3 months before it was released. Go figure.
Yeah, that should be all right.
I'll live. I'll keep busy until Thursday. It'll be fine. Ian says, got my Deadpool Wolverine ticket for Wednesday morning. I'll see you with all the spoilers. No, sir, you will not. Japan gets it first. Deadpool opens on Wednesday at 6 p.m., which is Tuesday. What the hell?
You're in trouble, Chris.
Oh, I guess I'm going to Australia then.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think they're the spoilers might be out already. You have to be careful.
Well, I think I have a busy week anyway. I'm not too worried about it.
Can hope that you don't see anything.
I also feel like what else is there for me to see at this point?
Are you concerned about that though? Like, do you think they're going to be
Trapped? Is it's called Trapped. I thought it was Trapped. It's August 2nd.
Yeah. It's like, are spoilers going to affect your enjoyment? Do you think, or are you just happy to go in any which way?
What's funny is a lot of people have asked me, like, because my expectations are so high, like, what if it sucks?
Right.
And I've told them my baseline for the enjoyment of this film is just seeing Hugh Jackman fighting in the suit. That's really all I want. It'd be cool if the movie's good, of course, but I've already won as far as I'm concerned. And no one should take my opinion seriously after Thursday. I don't
a very biased opinion.
Right. I don't recommend anybody actually paying attention to what I have to say. I'll just hold my little popcorn bucket and we'll talk about it on Sunday.
Well, considering all the stuff that's been in the trailers and been rumored about the movie, like it's going to be wild to see what kind of stuff they do hold back into the movie.
I kind of feel like they're getting all like the fun surprises out in the trailers because the movie itself has enough weight to it, which I know is probably not the case. It's Deadpool, but I don't expect too many big surprises. It says the latest trailer spoilers suck. That's a biggie for me, as I love that movie and actor. Look, we all knew Optimus Prime was in it. They had to roll out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta promote the biggest guy in the movie.
It was so stupid. Why spoil? See, I didn't think it was that big of a spoiler. I feel like it was one of those things we all knew was coming. To me, a spoiler would be like if they showed Omega Red.
Sure.
I see that and I lose my shit. And especially if it's like a decent actor. Like, I don't even know who you would put as Omega Red or cast as him, but either way, to me, that's a spoiler. What they showed, yeah, I would have preferred to see that in the movie in context. But as is, to me, it's fine. I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's like even in the trailers and the non characters, they're still showing they showed that beach scene a ton with the 20th Century Fox kind of whatever. Like they're not hiding that kind of stuff either.
No,
and they teased at the start with the TVA. So it's like, and I think one of the original things that I thought I read a while ago, or we talked about a while ago, was the idea that this movie is supposed to change things for, Secret Wars and all that jazz. I don't know if that's still kind of the case or.
Well, they've showed the journalists are like 30 or 40 minutes of it, and from what I understand, the trailers have only showed pieces of those 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of movie left. Logan is many people's favorite Marvel movie. Well, I mean, that's cool.
One of my favorites.
It's good.
Yep.
It's good. It's good stuff. But we'll see how it is. Well, Thursday for me. You guys get it earlier, so I'm either going to Japan or Australia. Australia has that movie world thing I want to check out, though. So.
24-hour flight. You got to leave now.
Technically, if I try to do that, I would still be there Thursday my time anyway.
Exactly.
By the time I would actually, it is what it is.
Yeah, just have to watch what happens. I'm interested to see what the discourse is about it, anyways. As somebody who's not interested in the movie, who's not going to see it until it comes out on digital. I'm interested to see what you have to say about it and what others have to say about it. Yeah, just interested to see the firestorm that comes from it, because I expect there to be one. I expect it to be, not very jovial about the whole thing.
Hey, Frank. Frank says, my favorite thing this week is my adventure with Superman. That show is heat. Was the finale this week? Or is that this coming week? I forgot. Again, only thing that matters to me this week is Deadpool and Wolverine, so I kind of forgot about that. But I do want to watch that. But yeah, discourse will be fun after. I just don't know how long it's going to take for the discourse to really hit. Just because I would hope that people are respectful about the spoilers. Keyword hope. We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
But we'll hope for the best.
As
Return
always.
of the King.
All right. I think that's going to do it, Chris. Tell people where they can find you.
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at thatchris70. You could also follow the podcast I do with my buddies Phil Walsh and Anthony Caruso over at DC Unlimited Pod. And as always, I would love it if you would follow this show at G of the Geeks. Emmet is better with the rest of the plugs, so he's going to take over. You can follow me on Twitter at EmmettDavis7. Gathering of the Geeks. Just type it into YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And when you get there, hit us up with a like, a subscribe, a comment, anything you like. Would really appreciate it, and more than happy to talk about all the things we're talking about right now, just via typing as well. Steve, our guy, does that on our YouTube comments every once in a while. So, Chris, I looked at them earlier today. Thank you so much for responding to Steve. Very nice of you. We get comments. I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. So keep them coming. Keep those comments and those likes coming. We really appreciate it. Ian, Aaron, Eric, Frank, Cookie, Phil, Zeddy, thanks so much. Grabs, thanks so much for checking us out, guys. Thanks for commenting. We really appreciate it. And saying all that, for Chris, and I'm Emmet, and we gather on Sundays.
We'll also talk San Diego Comic-Con next week. I'm excited. End of session.